kind of pick you use. Every pick sounds different. This one, if you're curious, is a really expensive pick made by a company called Red Bear. I like this because it's pretty pointed, it's thick, it doesn't move, and if you want to have control over what you're playing, it's the same thing that you would look for in a pencil. When you're trying to write something small and accurate, you want a sharp pencil, and you don't want a rubber pencil, you want a rigid pencil that only moves the way you tell it to move. So I like a thick pick, not flexible, and then I control the dynamics. But you can get a lot of different sounds just by how you hit the string with the pick. Again, there's no one correct technique. I think if you're going for that warm Gibson humbucker jazz rounded tone, you would hold the pick flat, so you're striking the string like that. And then if you want a thinner, more Fendery kind of tone with more treble and less mid-range, you tilt the pick like that. So now you're slicing the string just with the edge of the pick. So there's a huge difference there. It's like a completely different pickup, right? So you might want to try tilting the pick round so it's pointing that way. Pat Metheny likes to do this. And now you're playing with something more blunt. It's a rounded point, so you should get a rounder sound. So instead of this, tilt it round. So mess around with that stuff, and then mess around with dynamics. Actually, before you mess around with dynamics, try playing with your fingers. Sometimes the best sound you will get is just, Mike Landau calls it the sound of meat. You just use these. And you get a lot of control that way. I can play. It's very pure. If I play that softly with a pick, it sounds like plastic. And this is more organic, sounds more natural, I think. So if you like Albert King, those kind of players, that's the sound of someone playing with his thumb a lot. If you like Mark Knopfler, again, fingers. If you like Jeff Beck, and if you don't like Jeff Beck, please leave now. Again, there's a different EQ. I can't really describe it. Maybe you can describe it in French. I don't know, but it's sweeter. So that's all good stuff. Now you look at your dynamics with the pick. And if you've got a clean sound, obviously, the harder you play, the louder it gets. This is not rocket science. But it's an interesting exercise just to take one note and play it where you think the middle of your dynamic range is. Maybe there, and then try and fade out and see how many different levels of volume you can get, and to see how much control you have. And I should be able to get it right down to, let's see, if I go down to there, all you can really hear is the pick noise, hardly any note. If I fade it back in gradually. And then as I pick harder and harder, it gets louder and louder up to a point. So the string is vibrating a little bit, and then it's vibrating wider, and then it vibrates even wider. And at some point, it hits the frets. If you pick hard enough, the tone changes completely. All the mid-range disappears, and you get more attack. So it's another tone. If you pick too hard, it's like a metallic, percussive kind of tone.